ambush in his own goddamn room?
Yeah, he gonna be alright, but
I don't give a fuck about how he gonna be, man. You put on out-of-town talent at a high price, you expect him to get the motherfucking job done.
Well, he said that thing between us is, how he put it, absolved.
Absolved? What the fuck do that mean?
Alright, now before we even start, y'all, the word absolved must be defined, because it's impossible to understand the context of this conversation without knowing what this word means. Now, firstly, the word absolved is a verb. It means to free from the charges of wrongdoing. It's synonymous with words like acquit, exonerate, and vindicate, which all kind of mean the same thing. So why does Brother Mouzone specifically use the word absolved? Because absolve also implies a release, either from an obligation that binds the conscience or from the consequences of disobeying the law or committing a crime. And this is important. Brother Mouzone is literally teaching us how a vocabulary can save your life. With one word, he's implying three different things. One, that he already was suspicious that y'all set him up. Two, that he's no longer suspicious about Avon being involved. And three, that he's only suspicious about Stringer Bell, who now has his undivided attention.
I just want to let you know that we got your back. You know, whoever did this, we'll find him. We got you understand?
I appreciate the offer, but that won't be necessary. Inform Mr. Barksdale that any obligation he feels he might have with regards to this incident, it's absolved, along with our agreement.
Now, if you were just listening closely, which I advise you to do every time Brother Mouzone speaks, the second thing that went over Stringer Bell's head was the pronouns being used. When he relayed that message back to Avon, he uses the plural word us. But Brother Mouzone specifically said,
Inform Mr. Barksdale that any obligation he feels he might have with regards to this incident, it's absolved, along with our agreement.
Now, I know that this might seem like nothing, y'all, but the way that Mouzone is structuring his words is very important. Notice that with one sentence, he manages to single out Avon 3 times, while at the same time isolating Stringer Bell, who also doesn't catch this distinction. Now, String does not hear Mouzone's threat because it's not in what he's saying, but rather in what he's not saying.
Inform Mr. Barksdale that any obligation he feels he might have with regards to this incident, it's absolved.
Translation: tell Avon that he does not need to feel responsible for me being shot in my hotel, nor should he feel obligated to lend support, for this is solely my responsibility. And besides, Mr. Barksdale has been acquitted of all charges, leaving one person that knew my whereabouts. See, great dialogue is the ability to say things without really having to say them. I read somewhere that during a face-to-face conversation, only 7% of our communicating is done through words. The other 93% is done through our tone of voice and our body language. But again, I don't expect Stringer to catch these subtle ass micro expressions that Brother Mouzone display every time String says something foolish. Who would have thought that a vocabulary would be Stringer's undoing? Because next, Brother Mouzone throws out a plural word as bait, and Stringer Bell bites immediately, sinking the hook right into his cheek.
Well, all I'm saying is,
I understand perfectly well what you're saying. What I am saying to you is, I will take care of them myself.
them? Who came at you?
Thank you for your concern.
Now, in regards to String, it seemed like Mouzone might have been more disappointed than Avon. I think he expected the man that almost had him killed to have a more polished game than this. See, for String to have that big ass book collection, you'd think he'd be more useful in these type of situations, especially with words. But unfortunately, his new enemy actually reads his books. In the hospital, in the projects. Shit, Mouzone even got shot reading a book. But String decides to go down to the hospital and got his ass read too. And this is the moment where Avon loses all hope for his friend.
Mouzone booked out. We worse off than when he came. Now, if the word get out on the street that we weak like this, how the fuck we supposed to maintain our shit?
I know, but we gotta hit right back, make a statement. But Mouzone not saying who did that shit.
You asked him who it was?
Yeah, I asked him.
Why?
Why what?
Now, personally, one of the biggest misconceptions on The Wire is that Avon is somehow intellectually inferior to Stringer. Because to me, Avon's superiority was evident throughout the entirety of the show. Now, from his narrow point of view in jail, it just seems like Mouzone got shot while on the clock for him. And if this is an isolated incident, then why the hell would you be asking him who did it or trying to lend support? This is not Weebay or Savino or Stankum. He doesn't belong to us. This is strictly business, something that you of all people should understand. Not only did you offend Mouzone by thinking that he needed your help, when y'all the ones who sought him out so y'all can keep y'all real estate, but by showing unnecessary concern, you made yourself look suspicious. See, on The Wire, most of the displays of power is not done through acts of violence, but through dialogue. We watch major players finesse their way through conversations to get what they want. And this is something that no book or class can teach you.
How you gonna ask a soldier like Mouzone a question like that? Either he gonna say or he gonna go and work it out. Either way, you ain't got to be asking him shit.
Man, every market-based business runs in cycles, and we're going through a down cycle right now.
String, this ain't about your motherfucking business class either. It ain't that part of it. It's that other thing. The street is the street, always.
Now, this is also a point that I try to stress to some people. The streets is the streets. It is not just some illegal business venture where you got hop in and hop out as soon as you reach your financial destinations. That's not even realistic. People who really thrived in the streets like Stringer Bell, that shit is almost a part of our DNA. Even if you made it all the way out, you still rationalize things in a street way, whether you know it or not. Because all it takes is for you to become angry, and watch how it come out. Just like Stringer Bell in that Clay Davis situation. Is it business to have a senator killed just because he finessed you out of a lot of money? Or is that some street shit? See, a businessman does not even understand the logic of killing someone over a block that belongs to neither one of us. The risk is too great and the reward is too temporary. The price of a murder is not even 10% of how much the lawyer costs if it go bad. Any real businessman will tell you this shit don't add up. And Stringer Bell was always just a street nigga in a suit.
Look, man, I don't know why we gotta wait 3 years for that shit. I'm ready to run now.
No, you're not. I mean, forgive me, but you still showing a little bit of that street corner mentality.
Now you need to call Mr. Goose, Mr. Fawcett, whoever the fuck you gotta call, because I gave you money to run. Remember that?
It ain't like no drug deal, Strain. Hell, man, you don't put your money on the street and have it come right back. It don't work like that.
Oh, it don't, huh?
Now, one of the reasons I believe that Avon is smarter than Stringer Bell is because Avon does not need to have knowledge of what someone is saying to understand that they're running game. The moment that them building developers started talking about readdressing the budget, Avon knew exactly what was going on. He just lacked the vocabulary.
But look, y'all fucked up, so y'all supposed to take the hit, right?
Excuse me?
I mean, my man here don't know shit about no gun costs. He don't know nothing about no price of no steel. He just trying to get some shit built. Now, y'all supposed to have the expertise behind this. Only what I'm saying is it seemed like the expertise ain't where it's supposed to be.
Unfortunately, Mr. Barksdale, cost overruns are the nature of the business. And we should discuss this over lunch.
Hell no, man. I got elsewhere to be.
Now, what Andy Crosscheck and this man is doing to Avon and String is flat out doublespeaking. Doublespeak is done by politicians, lawyers, drug dealers, and doublespeak is language that is designed to evade responsibility. to make bad things sound good, to make harmful things sound safe. For example, like them damn medicine commercials, right? Where they briefly name all the side effects at the end. But notice that they always use this sweet little white lady voice, who still encourages you to buy the product, even though a side effect might be death. But Andy is double speaking them by using construction terminologies, intentionally using language they don't understand to charge them for things they already paid for. But Avon is not having none of it. He understands doublespeak because it annoys him in the building. That's why he walks out. And later on, Slim Charles does it too, which also annoys him.
So what you telling me, we weak?
Boss, I reached out to Black Donnie.
Okay, spit it out, man. Listen, stop fucking double talking me.
Black Donnie say he ain't having any of it. Say brother Mouzone put a hex on all of us.
Now, double speaking is not always done intentionally. And this scene is a good example, because Slim is so hesitant to tell Avon how weak they are that he's actually sugarcoating it until Avon demands he spill it out. And I got a question, y'all. Who do you think inspired more fear throughout the show? Chris and Snoop or Brother Mouzone? And I want to say Chris and Snoop, but this nigga Brother Mouzone had Stringer and Avon so uncomfortable that they actually exchange ideologies. Stringer, who has a tendency to imitate Avon, decides to go to the hospital and show concern for a soldier.
Where you go with that? Maryland General. Walked up in there, told him I was on the corner, caught a stray.
Police come talk to you?
Just a roller, no homicide.
Next, while getting a fade, Avon gets possessed by Stringer and tries to pay Mouzone in cash, but you know he want in blood.
You want money?
Money?
Yeah, this is business.
Business is where you are now.
It's just business.
But what got you here is your word and your reputation. With that alone, you've still got an open line to New York. Without it, you're done.
Now, the reason that Mouzone wouldn't take Avon's money is not just because he's some religious man of morality. Because first and foremost, Brother Mouzone is a businessman, which is the same reason Avon used when he tried to pay him off. But the problem is, what's currently damaging his business is not a loss of money, but a loss of respect. The truth of the matter is that he was backstabbed and betrayed by Stringer Bell. But the more important matter is that the streets are now speculating that his blade has gotten dull. He allowed himself to get played.
So, brother, what brought you back?
It disturbs me to leave business unfinished.
Heard you was shot before you even got started down here. Not like you to get played.
Betrayed, you mean? You know what the most dangerous thing in America is, right? Nigga with a library card.